cats, what's up? Itchymoche. You know, some of you asked me, hey, have you seen that movie, Wild Hogs? I finally saw the thing. Now I suppose you want my review on it. Well, I hate to say it, but I think if you were a yuppie, you probably loved that movie. Because the yuppies come out on top. They win. They beat down those dirty bikers. Well, you know me, I kind of related more to the dirty bikers. And the movie pretty much bashed dirty bikers, made them look like some real lowlives. I don't think that's the way bikers are in real life. Well, we all know it was only a movie. But did I like it? I thought it was a little goofy, if you ask me. I prefer something on a little more serious side, you know, something a little more down to earth, more realistic, I guess. That was just a little far-fetched. On that same line, though, I got a story for you. And, you know, I'm no wild hog, but I was out one day on the scooter, and I headed up north of here quite a ways to a little town called LaGrange. And there's a little bar there just on the edge of town. And I went in that little tavern. I walked in there, and it was just getting dusk. And you know, when you walk into a little pub like that, it's dark in there. You can't see very good, so you squint and you're looking around. You don't really want to stare around too much because you're not quite sure what you're going to find. But I noticed right away that the bar was completely full. There was no bar stools left. And so that made me a little uncomfortable, because you can always find a seat at the bar and you're welcome, but you just don't go pull up a chair at a table with somebody or squeeze yourself into a booth with somebody. So I squeezed in between a couple fellas there, and I got myself a bottle of water. That's what I do. I stay away from that alcohol. And as I was standing there sipping on my bottle of water, I started kind of glancing around the room. Well, it didn't take me long to figure out there were some nasty looking bikers in this place. Some gang members. And it didn't take them long to spot me. Well, I had all my leathers on and stuff, you know. I'd been out riding. It was a little cooler. It was this time of year, late in the season. And next thing I know, one of the fellows comes walking up behind me, and he taps me on the shoulder, and I turned around, and kind of startled me. I wasn't expecting that. And he said, somebody wants to talk to you. That fellow's sitting right over there in the corner. So I turned around and I looked over in the corner, and there I saw one of the nastiest, ugliest, biggest, baddest looking bikers I've ever seen. Dirty, filthy, big dude, big old pot belly on him. And he's just looking at me. He's eyeballing me up and down. So I didn't waste a lick. I kind of sauntered over that way. I said, hey, what's up? And he said, where's your tattoos? I said, excuse me? Tattoos, boy, where's your tattoos? I said, well, I got this one tattoo with a wolf tracks on my arm. That's about it. Well, how come? I said, well, I'll tell you what, I think tattoos are a form of art. And before you go painting them all over your body, seeing that they're pretty permanent, you got to have a good reason to put a tattoo on there. It's got to have some meaning to it, and it's got to look right. So I'm not just going to put anything on me, you know. So he nods, and he holds his arms up, and they were just total body art, you know. And he says, you see these tattoos? I said, yeah. He said, you know where I got them? I said, no, I don't have a clue. I got them from a gumball machine. They're licking sticks. Well, the other guys that were around him, they all started roaring and laughter, and I just stood there kind of bewildered, you know. I wasn't quite sure what was going on. He stuck his hand out. He said, "Let me introduce myself. I'm Fabio." So again, I looked kind of bewildered. I stuck my hand out, and he grabbed me with that big old paw, and he started laughing hideously, and he says, "My name ain't Fabio either. I'm just BSing you." So then I was real confused. But he snaps his fingers, and the sergeant of arms or whatever he was come over, and he says, whispers something in his ear. And the sergeant at arms says, "I got to introduce you to a few people." And he took me around a dark bar, and one by one he tapped each one of the fellas on the shoulder, and "I got to introduce you to this fellow. This is Itchy." Well, they all shook my hand. Some of them were pleased to meet me. Some of them didn't seem real happy or thrilled. But that was beside the point. The next thing I know, two of them came up and they approached me, and they come right up in my face and they said, "The boss wants us to take you out back and show you something." Well, now I started to really wonder, I think I'm in for trouble. I think I walked into the wrong bar tonight. But not showing any fear, I followed the two fellows right out the back door, soon to be followed by the rest of the gang. What am I surprised what it was, they had all their scooters out back behind the bar, kind of hidden behind the bar in a grassy area, and they all wanted to show me their bikes. So one by one, each one of them, "Look at this one, look at this one, look at the paint job I did on this. Hey, I welded this frame up all by myself." So I patted each one of them on the back. "That's a darn good job, man. Oh, I love that paint job. That is sweet." Before the night was over, I was their guest of honor. And they was buying me waters left and right, faster than I could chug them down. Well, they invited me to a big party. It was coming up in a week or so, and I thanked them very much and was on my way, headed out the door. It was a little later I found out through some of my friends that they're pretty nasty, what they call dirt and grime band of outlaws, and they told me that I was pretty lucky. They're a pretty rough crowd. And they said, if you know what's good for you, you don't even want to go to their party, because it just might end up bad for you. So I didn't go to the party. You know, like I told you before, I'm independent, never been a part of a gang, but have spent my time with some gangs and have ridden with some. But that's my little Wild Hogs story. Nothing serious, a little lighter side. You know, didn't get my butt beat up or nothing like that. Hey, that's life in the biker lane. Ride hard and die free.